Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you? I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield, and today we're going to talk about just stop it. Stop all the negative self talk. But before we get into that, let me introduce myself. I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield. I'm a fifth generation metaphysician, soul evolution coach, speaker, and author. And I want to give you a couple of minutes to get in here and everything and say hi when you get in here. And I'm going to give you some updates on my upcoming events. On June 27th and 28th of this year, I'm speaking for East West Bookshop out of Mountain View, California. And if you go to their webpage, eastwestbooks.com, you can go to their events page there. Eastwestbooks.org. Sorry, I always get that one messed up. Yeah. And so you can go on there and you can sign up for my event. You don't have to die to transform on the 27th, and soul vibration and the evolutionary path of your soul on June 28th. So that's eastwestbooks.org, not .com, but .org. So let's talk about just stopping it. This negative self-talk. It's one thing when you're having a bad hair day and you're like, seriously? Okay, my hair is not behaving. I'm throwing it up in a ponytail. It is completely different when you're constantly saying, I don't look good. I'm not good enough. I can't do that. Or I don't think they like me. Or are they judging me? I'm fat. I'm too skinny. I'm short. I'm tall. I stand out in the crowd. And we, over our lifetimes, we develop this negative self-talk. And we usually develop it because we hear our parents saying things about themselves. And especially when it comes to weight, when it comes to looks, when it comes to finances, we can really spin out in that negative self-talk to where we don't even realize we're saying it. And when you have that negative self-talk, it's like saying to the universe, hello, I want to be fat. Because I'm constantly telling myself and everyone else, oh, yeah, I couldn't fit in my jeans. That's me because I'm fat. Or, oh, yeah, you know, I'm just terrible with money, so I'm always going to be poor. All of that negative self-talk is self-fulfilling prophecies. So stop it. And when you hear yourself saying something that is negative self-talk, stop. And if you can, look at yourself in the mirror and say the opposite of it, say the positive of it, and start retraining your brain. Okay, not every single day is our hair going to be perfect. Not every single day are we going to feel necessarily most comfortable in our clothes or in our finances or our career or, oh, well, that person deserved the promotion. I didn't deserve it because I'm not special enough, or I'm not this enough, or whatever it is. And we get into these negative self talks and they become a habit. Well, I'm always not healthy, so I just always will be not healthy. Or I can't do things because fill in the blank. Or I'm not good enough to be in a healthy, loving relationship. Or it can spin out into your intimate relationships. It can be your working relationships. It can be any relationship out there. But what you don't realize is when you say that, especially if you're saying it as what you think is a side, funny, ha ha, kind of half joking, half real comment to somebody, is they may hear what you said, but more importantly, they felt what you said. So if you're wondering why you didn't get the promotion, maybe it's because you keep telling your boss with these little comments that you're not ready for that promotion, that you don't have the confidence for that promotion, that you don't have the go for it attitude for that promotion. All of that matters because we first communicate, very first, before we communicate with our voice or anything else, we communicate energetically. Your energy walks into the room before you ever step foot in it. Your energy walks into a Facebook Live before you ever hit go live. If you're doing a Facebook Live like I am right now, our energy is what is absolutely projected out first and foremost. And so if it's full of all these little negative chipping away pieces at our energy, people are going to feel that. People are going to respond to that. Not necessarily what you said, unless it may be someone saying, don't say that about yourself. That's not true. But otherwise, they're going to respond to the energy of what you just said. So if you have all this negative self-talk, like I said, around your boss, that's why you're not going to get the promotion. That's why you're not going to get the raise. It doesn't necessarily have to do with your quality of work. It has to do with the energy you're projecting, and that's what they take away. Whether they realize it or not, they could be as unconnected as you can possibly think, but they're still going to be responding to your energy. Have you ever noticed how you're around certain people and they just naturally bring you up, and you're around certain people and they're kind of a Debbie Downer? Well, they're kind of a Debbie Downer because they're always a Debbie Downer about themselves. They're always saying those little negative self comments, little quips, like I said, that they may think is half joking, half real, or they may think it's just a joke and they're making themselves the butt of the joke. The sad part about it is they're the ones being affected by that. So when you start noticing your self talk, notice it around everything. Whether you are talking to yourself mentally, talking to yourself out loud, maybe you're brainstorming something and something comes up and you're like, ooh, that was one of those little negative self talk moments, wasn't it? That got thrown in there. Whatever it is, start noticing it. And if you need help, ask those people that are closest to you to say, call me out on it. The first few times they do, you might get your back up a little bit and say, hey, I was just joking or whatever. And then have them say, please kindly remind me, I asked you to point this out to me. So that you can start noticing how often you're doing it. Because most people are doing it often enough that where if they literally had their 24 hours replayed on audio, they would be shocked at how often they're doing it and in how many areas of their life. Well, I can't meditate. I guess I'm just not good at it. I guess I might as well just give up trying. Or my meditation coach taught me to meditate, but it's just not for me. That, and then the next step is we take that and we flip it. We think we're judging someone else. But when we're judging someone else, what we're really doing is judging ourselves. So if you start judging someone because of their looks, because of their career, because of their finances, because of their relationships, and it's not like, okay, she needs to get away from him because he's being abusive or vice versa. It's not that. It's, well, who does she think she is? Or doesn't he think he's the cat's meow and everything? Whatever it is, that judgment, you're really sitting there and negatively self-judging yourself, because what you're doing is you're comparing yourself to that person, therefore judging them. And it's not, you're sitting there, you're a judge at the Olympics and you're judging someone on a skill. You're judging them in comparison to how you think they compare to you. That could be in your career, in your relationships. Well, why do they have such a great marriage and I've been married 5 times and I haven't been able to have a successful marriage? So really and truly, no one has a good marriage anymore. That's negative self-talk. It all comes back to being negative about yourself. And that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So stop it, ask for help, go to somebody, someone that you trust, and say, please help me recognize this, because this needs to change. Because I want my vibration, my blah, 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 if I can speak, my vibration to change so that I can start bringing in more of what I want and not keep getting the same old all over again in any area of your life. You know, when you become a new coaching client of mine, one of the first things we do is a half a day assessment, 4 hours straight. And one of the things I'm looking at is I'm looking about how you're talking about yourself, because that is going to lead me to a lot of your subconscious paradigms that you need to clear out. You may say, I can never have that great relationship. I can never find that right person to have that amazing soul connection relationship with. Okay, so let's talk about that. What experiences have you had around that? And you start talking to me about them, and their subconscious paradigms come out in your speech. So I'm listening. I'm listening to what you say. And you can do this with or without me, but you can do this by having someone help you. What is it that I'm saying? What are the negative things I'm saying about myself? My looks, my energy, my feelings, everything about myself. What are the things I'm saying about my finances? What are the things I'm saying about my relationships, whether they're intimate relationships or other relationships? What am I saying about my career and my ability in my career? Am I constantly saying, oh, I'm not good enough? Or I'm not doing a good enough job? Or are you saying, okay, I've got a massive project and I have no freaking clue how to do it, but I know I can do it. I know I will learn along the way and it will be done, and it will be done to the best of my ability. Instead of like, they just landed this huge project on my desk and I have no clue how to do it. How in the world did they expect me to do this? When do we start doing that? We start self-defeating ourselves. We start telling ourselves all the reasons why we can't do it, instead of telling ourselves all the reasons we can do it. If we start If we're constantly saying we're fat, we're ugly, we're out of shape, then guess what? Spirit goes, okay, you want to be fat, ugly, and out of shape. Okay, that's what you want. We'll give it to you. I have yet to meet anyone that wanted that, but I have met thousands that say it. And the very first step is to stop saying it. You have to recognize you're saying it, and then you have to stop saying it, and then you have to switch it. You flip that switch, the other side of the coin. I'm healthy, I'm fit, and I'm beautiful. Or if you're a male, I'm handsome. Whatever verbiage works for you. But you have to switch it, because when you switch it, it's not that you're becoming egotistical and conceited and all of that. No. When you switch it, you're not going around to people and going in the grocery store and going up to them and saying, did you know that I am healthy, fit, and beautiful? No, you're not doing that, right? But it's that self-talk that when you get done getting ready for the day, you're like, yeah, look pretty good today. Feel good in these clothes today, right? Now, sometimes I'm literally changing shirts 3 or 4 times until I get the one that feels right for that day. That's a whole energy thing I do. But at the same time, I'm not standing there in front of the mirror saying anything about me being fat, ugly, stupid, incompetent, not good enough, any of those things. I may say, okay, the hair's just not cooperating today, especially since all the medical treatments I had in the early 2000s. I used to have thick, straight hair. Now I have fine, thin, flyaway, curly, wavy, depending on the strain of the hair, whatever it wants to do, hair. And there's some days that I'm just like, yeah, I'm done messing with it. It's going up in a bun or a ponytail and I'm done. But I'm not saying, okay, I hate my hair, I want it gone. Personally, I don't really want to be bald. So really ask someone that you trust and then tell them when you say, oh, I didn't just say that, to kindly remind you that you asked them to help you on this pathway, on this journey to changing your self-talk so that you can attract more of what you want into life and get rid of that you know that no longer serves you. And one of the major things that no longer serves a living soul on this planet is negative self-talk. Because let me tell you, growing up female in this day and age, we can point out every flaw on our body that is not even visible to the naked eye. We have been trained. And you know what that training does? It tells our subconscious we're never good enough. That we're striving for an airbrushed fake photo on some magazine cover or some Instagram post or wherever, right? That one, the person that the photo was of doesn't even look like in real life. And two, no one is airbrushed. No one is photoshopped. No one is any of those things. So, like I said, growing up female, I can tell you my experience. I didn't grow up female. I raised a son. I'm married to my husband, but that is a different dynamic growing up male. Maybe it's I don't have enough muscle definition, or I can't lift such and such pounds, or whatever it is. Just like us females, we're sitting there and we are judging ourselves from the earliest ages, and we're being taught to judge ourselves and that we should look like some figment of someone's imagination with a bunch of Photoshop tools even before the internet was invented or mass produced for home use. Magazine covers were tweaked. Photo shoots on album covers or in the newspaper or whatever were tweaked. Actresses were given clothes to disguise their quote unquote flaws, actors and actresses, on TV shows and in movies, so that they looked like they had a physique that they didn't have. Or if they liked the actor or actress, but they needed a body shot, they'd put in a body double. Yet we sitting at home watching the movie don't realize that that's a body double, and we think, oh, okay, this is this famous movie star. We're supposed to look like them or act like them. And now it's this is this famous influencer. Well, how much of that influencer's life, one, is real, because a lot of people have been called out for being fake influencers. And for two, how much of it is all made up? They put on the filter on Instagram, or they've taken a picture, photoshopped it, then filtered it, put in a different background, and said they're in Tahiti right now, while all of us are staying 6 feet apart and pretty much still staying in our homes, right? Quit trying to live up to a false narrative. Live up to you being your goal. Who you are in 10 years is who you should look up to. Who you can become in 10 years is who you should look up to. It's who you should aspire to be. It's who you should be talking to yourself about becoming. Not, well, when I was 18, I wore size 0, and I don't wear size 0 anymore, so something has to be wrong. Well, for one, I'm 50. I'm not 18 anymore. I would probably look deathly ill if I was a size 0 again and weighed 92 pounds, like I did when I was 18. Right? So you have to stop comparing yourself to yourself in the past, comparing yourself to others, and start comparing yourself to who you want to become in 10 years. And here's the secret. That 10-year date changes at midnight every single night. It's not that you're ever going to become that person in 10 years. It's you're aspiring to become that person. And by aspiring and having the desire to become that person, eventually the law of intention kicks in and you set an intention. And then the law of attraction sets in, and the law of vibration, and the laws of cause and effect, and the laws of polarity. And then things start rolling and things start happening to where you get to be a little bit closer to that person that you aspire to be, that you look up to be, that's your hero, that's you in 10 years. Instead of who you were or who you weren't. I am having trouble talking today, aren't I? In the past. It's like people get to my age and, oh my gosh, I didn't have this imaginary experience in my young 20s. Instead, I was married with a child, so therefore I missed out on something. So my life isn't good anymore because I realized that somehow or another there is something missing in my past that I missed out on. No. If there was something in your past that you were meant to do, you would have done it. If there was something in the past that you had an opportunity to do, and your decision on that fork in the road opportunity was to take the other fork, that other fork wasn't the wrong choice. It's the choice you made. Own it. It's over. You cannot go back and change that choice. I met my husband when I was 17, senior in high school. A year later, we were married. And by the end of that year, we had our son just after my 19th birthday. Now, I could go back and say, you know what? I had my son when I was 19. I didn't get to go to all the college parties when I was in my early 20s. So, therefore, I need to go to all the college parties now that I'm in my 50s. One, those college kids don't want me at their parties. Two, I partied plenty in my 20s and in high school, and I never missed out on a party I wanted to go to. And trust me, there is parties I was invited to that I'm like, oh, I can't go. I've got to get my son to bed. Sorry, thank you. Let me tell you, it's a fabulous excuse for some things. But stop living in the past. Stop judging yourself. Stop with the self talk and flip the switch. It's kind of like there's the energy switch. I want to manifest all this stuff, but I got my energy switch to the off button because I'm negative all the time. I talk about myself in a negative way all the time. And so I'm blocking that energy. I've got that switch on the off toggle, not on the on. Well, it's time to flip that switch on, isn't it? Aren't you ready to flip that on? I really hope that you start noticing where you have negative self talk, where you're living in the past, where you're doing the would haves, could have, should haves, all of that, and start purging them. Start getting rid of them. And you may get mad when someone calls you out on it at first. But after you get mad, say thank you. Be grateful. Because gratitude changes your energy. So you may be mad, but thank them for it. Say, I am grateful you made me mad in showing me that I just said something negative about myself. Or I was doing the would have, could have, should haves. Or I was doing the, oh, if only I had done something in my teens or my 20s or my 30s or my 40s. Or you could do that for your entire life. You could be 100 years old and you're like, well, if I'd done this in my 90s, by golly. So stop, please. If you learn anything from me ever, stop the negative self talk. Stop living in the past and start living for you in 10 years' time. Because when you do that, you will create miracles. Take care, and every day continue to expect and experience miracles. And if you want to talk to me, one-on-one about anything, just go to the link in the comments, sign up for your free complimentary soul session, and we will get you on your way. Because maybe you're like, okay, I really don't have a significant other that I can ask, or I don't have someone around me really close that I trust enough to ask. Just to listen, to see where those paradigms are in my subconscious that are holding me back, where I say those self-deprecating statements, where I always like, oh, it's okay, and let someone walk all over me. Have you ever done that one? I deserve it. I'm not worth it. Right? Please stop all of that. And if you need my help, I'm here. And my soul sessions, I swear I cannot talk today. My soul sessions are complimentary. They're free. 30 minutes, absolutely 100% of me focused on you for 30 minutes. So, starting today, no more self-talk that's negative. Now you may say, okay, but you just said you can't talk today. I was dealt with years and years and years and years of speech therapy when I was a kid, and I get tongue tied. And my way of getting me out of that is to say, well, I can't talk today, because I know that means I'm telling myself, by golly, yes, you can. So, by golly, you can do it too. Just because you couldn't speak when you were 4 doesn't mean you can't speak when you're 50. Right? So, you can do it just like I did it. And it doesn't take 12 years of therapy every day of your life for you to get there. It just takes some self-realization and the ability to get a little uncomfortable, because when you first start saying the positive, when you realize the negative, it's going to feel a little weird. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, maybe even a little embarrassing, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You can keep telling yourself that's a good thing. Okay? Take care and expect miracles, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.